requesting of the members of the community of Hebron, they should intercede on his behalf to purchase the Marsa Machpelah. And the one who owned that property, that cave, was Ephron. And Ephron sends a message back to Avram that initially that it's for sale, and because Avram Avinu is such a special person, he's like the Prince of God, he should consider it as if it's given to him as a gift. Avram Avinu is not interested in gifts. Avram Avinu says, I want to pay for it. And he says, consider it yours. And after all the going back and forth, Pasuk Yudalid, Chav Gimel Yudalid, or even the one before, V'yadaber el Ephron, b'oznei amoretz lemor. Avram wanted this should be public knowledge. This negotiation should be public knowledge, and the purchase should be public knowledge, because he doesn't want later Ephron to come to renege, because he understood exactly what this man is all about. This man cannot be trusted, and if you don't cross every T and dot every I, the man is coming, and with time, he will take it back and say that the sale was not a legitimate sale. So this is Ba'oznei Amoritz. This is public knowledge, that there's no detail of Avram's negotiation here, or the way he's purchasing it. It should be in question. Ach, atod lushmeini. Ephron is saying, you're a prince of God, considered it given to you, and so on and so forth. There's a halacha, and this is the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, explains, what happens if a person sells a property under coercion? He's forced to sell it. It's not a valid sale. It's not valid. Ephron was such a conniving person. Firstly, over here, initially, he promised it to him. He says, consider it a gift, it's given to you. And then, as we'll see in a moment, when it came to the actual acquisition, Avram paid an enormous amount of money for this. So from here, the takeaway is, Rishoim, Omrim, Harbe Vedem Osam Afilamat. A Russia promises you the world, he doesn't even deliver as much as an iota. So Ephron is going to say he's giving him all these accolades and expressing all this level of reverence to say, I really had no choice. I had no choice. I was forced to forfeit it. And so later he's going to come and say, it wasn't a valid sale. It was under coercion. So Avram Avinu says, no, I'm not interested in hearing who I am, what I am. I'm willing to buy it and to purchase it and to pay whatever you ask for it. And then he comes in for the kill, so to say, Ephron. And Vayad Ephron. And Avram says, Shma'ini, you listen to me. Nosati kesef hasode kach mimeni. I've given the money for the field. Take it from me, meaning take it already. I want to conclude this. I'm not interested in gifts, and I don't need all these accolades. Vekres meisi shoma. Vayad Ephron al Avram lemolo. Adoni Shma'ini, my master, listen to me. Eretz arba meos shekel kes bein bein chamahi. Land that's worth 400 shekel kesef. This land over here was, I mentioned yesterday, the Midrash. It was a cave that anybody who would walk into this cave would not come out alive. There were such spirits and demons in this cave, and the man is selling, radon property out in the Everglades, which is surrounded with snakes and alligators, and the man says, I'm selling you, property on Fifth Avenue, premium property. So what's $400? 400 shkolim. And the Gemara says it's an enormous amount of money what he asked of him here. But Avram didn't make a difference. Avram knew its value, and he's willing to pay anything he's asking, regardless that Ephron believes he's cheating Avram, because Avram knows the truth. Vayishma Avram el Ephron. Vayishkel Avram le Ephron. As a kesef shadibe bozna minei ches. Avram weighs out to Ephron the silver which he had spoken in the presence of the Bnei Ches. This was public. Now, Arba Me'er Shekel Kesef Over Lasocher. Newly minted coins, that in every market, these coins will be taken, the value will not be questioned. But if you notice immediately, until Avram paid the money, the word Ephron is written in its full spelling. There's a Vav. When he weighed out the silver to him, it says, Vayishkel Avram le'Ephron. If you notice, the Vav is deleted. Why is it deleted? Take a look at Rashi. Chosiv Vav. Lefi she'omar harbe v'afilu matlo oso. This is to emphasize the point, what kind of deficient person this man was. So if you read the simple understanding, he was a Rasha. A Rasha is a deficient person. So it indicated that deficiency, the Torah deletes the Vav. V'yish'omar harbe afilu matlo oso. Sho'notel b'menu shkolim gedolim shem kantorim. Over here, when it refers to shkolim, kantorim means very large silver coins. Shem over lasocher. Shebeskablim b'shekel b'chol mokom. That this currency is accepted in every market. V'yesh mokom shishklem gedolim shem kantorim. So the Vav is to indicate his deficiency. But the Midrash over here explains that we're talking about this man had such an evil eye, Ephron, and he was so envious of Avram's wealth. You know, when man has greed, and you see a person has that amount of money, and you envious of that person, you try to take as much as you can from him. So it was due to the envy, his evil eye. That's why he asked for this amount of money. And this is the approach of the end. First, he promises you it's a gift, and when it comes to deliver, he wants an arm and a leg. He wants a king's ransom over here. This is what he's asking. So the Vav is to indicate his deficiency, and the Medrash says the deficiency was Ayin Hora. Ayin Hora. Why? And this we mentioned in the past. The numerical value of Ephron without the Vav is 400, which is the numerical value of Ayin Ra, evil eye. This is to emphasize that this, the way he spoke and the way he negotiated, this was all due to his evil eye. Rabbeinu Bachi over here points out that we find that Esav, when he came against Yaakov Avinu, it says he came with 400 men. Again, the number 400 is mentioned there. So he says the same thing. 400 is Ayin Ra. Esav, in terms of when he saw Yaakov, he saw him with such a level of disdain and hate and envy. As much as Esav wasn't Yaakov, Yaakov himself had succeeded on many levels. Yaakov sent a very valuable gift to Esav, which was clear he became a wealthy man. Initially, the Midrash tells us when the rumblings and all the agitation was going on in Rivka's womb, what were they fighting over? The material world and the spiritual world. And ultimately, there was an agreement. Yaakov takes the spiritual, Esav takes the material. All of a sudden now, Yaakov's coming back after 36 years. He sends him this valuable gift, herds and flocks, and even diamonds. And he's really, his cage is being rattled here. He says, what's going on? We had an agreement. The spiritual world is yours, the material world is mine. And here you're sending me a gift that you have to be a very wealthy man to send that kind of a gift, even more than wealthy. So evidently you reneged on the agreement because you have no right to all this wealth. But I'm telling you that was in the Midrash. So Yaakov says to Esav, but you don't understand. Our agreement was that I'm only involved in the spiritual. I don't engage in the material. To bring about success in the material, you have to invest tremendous amounts of time and mind and focus. Here, because I'm fully invested in the spiritual, automatically you merit the material, because the material is to facilitate the spiritual. You invest in the material for the material. So I did not in any way cross the line into your domain to take the material from you. The material was given to me by God. It's a gift of God. So when Esav hears this, Esav says, you know something? Maybe we should renegotiate the deal. It's a good deal. Be involved in the spiritual, and automatically just shifts into your domain, the material. Yaakov says, once we cut the deal, it's not negotiable any longer. You're the material, I am the spiritual, and whatever God provides, He provides. And that's what Yaakov says when Esav says, Yeshli Rov, I have so much. You know what Yaakov says? Yeshli Kol, I have everything. Whatever I have is everything, because whatever God gives, He's giving it because that's what's needed. So that's basically everything. Anything more than that is superfluous. That's superfluous. But what I have is what I need to accommodate and facilitate my spirituality. But it was 400. When he saw that wealth, that gift that Yaakov had sent him, he's coming with 400 men. The 400 is to emphasize that point of Ayin Ra, that Esav had an Ayin Ra against Yaakov. Ephraim, but what the Medrash says something interesting. The Torah itself is the eternal script. Every letter of the Torah is what? Is one of the names of Hashem, as we discussed in the Ramban in the introduction. By Ephron having the Vav deleted from his name, do you know what it means? That when you mention the Torah, which is the holiest entity in existence in all the worlds, that you're mentioned in the deleted form. So that the Torah omits the Vav at this point is ultimately the greatest loss. The exchange for what he had done was a irreparable loss for Ephraim. Because if you mention in the full spelling versus the deleted spelling, then you're being shortchanged. But Ephraim, he has no relevance to even understand what this is all about, but it does make a difference. It's just the reality. He's confirmed in the Torah as what he is, Ayin Ra, as Rashi cites the Chazal, Rishon Omrim Harbe, Omrim Harbe Ve'edim Osim HaPafil Mat. They promise you the world, they don't deliver even as much as an iota. Here he's giving it as a gift, and Avram is paying a fortune, beyond a fortune.